Hi everybody. Welcome to Philosophy 125, which is Philosophy of Science, an Upper Division GE course that's taught at Sacramento State. This is the summer session, the first summer session of 2015, and this is a 6-week course. It's a fully online course, and my name is Randy Mays. I'm the professor for this course, and this is just a short orientation video for those of you who might benefit from a little friendly, rambling voice introduction. There isn't any information I'll be giving you here that you cannot get from the syllabus, but I will be laying particular emphasis on some things which might not come through as clearly just through reading, so it might be worth hanging in here and listening to everything I have to say. So right now we're at my website, of course, and this is something you've already accessed because you wouldn't have been able to get this video without doing so. And what you see on the left-hand side in the sidebar is just my essential information, my email, how to contact me through chat. I don't hold office hours of a regular nature because I won't be on campus, but I'm extremely responsive to emails and chats. I usually get back to you in a very brief period of time, sometimes minutes, sometimes hours, unless you're trying to contact me on weekends or the wee hours of the morning. And sometimes I even get back to you pretty quickly then as well. Now, all the information for this course is under the Philosophy 125 link. There's 4 active links right now. There will be 5. There will be an active discussion page shortly. The What's Up link is where you will be going to get the sort of daily information for this course. You should go on a daily basis to get any updates. The course should run fairly smoothly, but weird things do happen on online courses. Sometimes Blackboard crashes, and sometimes there are just sort of unanticipated changes that occur, so you don't want to be operating blindly. A very quick checkup every day to find out if there's anything new you need to understand is extremely good policy. So if you click on the What's Up link, you probably won't get exactly what you're going to see here, but you'll see several posts I've already put up over the previous few days. And so what you're going to want to do is scroll to the very bottom and start reading everything, working your way up. I'm not going to read this to you, but essentially what it does is tell you to do some very important things. And the most important thing initially, as far as just an active thing to do, is to click on this link right here, the journal sign-up sheet, and enter your name in the left-hand column, first followed by last, and then enter your email here. But very importantly, this can't be just any email. It has to be a Gmail account, which is an email established through Google, which of course many of you have already. And if it's not that, then it has to be an email account that you've already registered through Google to be to work with Google Utilities. So if you've done that independently, that's okay. Otherwise, just establish a Gmail account. Now, after you do this, what I'm going to do is share your journal with you. And once I've done that, I'll put this little thumbs up icon on the right-hand side. So that will tell you that your journal is actually in your Google Drive. Now, some of this terminology might not be familiar to you, and if it's not, then what you're going to want to do is just go to YouTube and look for a Google Drive orientation video. But I'll show you right now basically how this works. So if you do just get a Gmail account, when you open it, it'll look something like this. I've just sort of gotten rid of all my emails so you don't have to look at that. And over here on the right-hand side, you'll see this little matrix of squares. And when you click on it, one of the things that pops up is this icon right here. which simply says Drive, which is short for Google Drive. And this is just web space on Google that allows you to store and work on documents online. So if you click on Drive, it will take you to your web space. And if you've never used it, you will see something like this, nothing. But one thing you will see after I've shared a document with you is it will either appear immediately or it will appear when you click on Shared with Me. If you click on this Shared with Me, you'll see the document that I share with you, which is going to be your journal, and it looks essentially like this when you click on it. Now, what it'll actually look like is it'll have your name written on it, and other than that, it'll look pretty much identical to this one. And this is the place where you're going to keep your journal. So the syllabus contains all the specific information with respect to how to do your journal, and I'm just going to refer you to that because it's quite tedious to go through it all in a video. But if you scroll down, what you'll see is that there are entries for each module, and what you'll be doing is answering the questions for each entry by specific due dates. Now, there are specific procedures associated with late entries, so you're going to want to familiarize yourself with that, specifically the important requirement of writing any late entries in a blue font. The important thing to understand about the journals from the beginning is it's really the only thing in this course where there are specific due dates and due times. Everything else is self-paced, but if you are not getting your journal entries in on time, then there is a very significant penalty associated with that, which is delineated in the syllabus. Now, of course, the real work associated with doing a journal is to engage the material associated with it. By the way, this up here is a clickable table of contents, so please don't do anything, don't edit this in any way. But suppose, for example, you're interested in working on your Module 8 journal questions, then you can just click here and it will take you down to Module 8. And what it feels like to work in this journal is essentially you simply read the question and click on the right-hand side of the bullet point and begin answering it. So just begin composing your answer. To the right of the bullet point, stay with this font. Take care to produce a good-looking answer. Use paragraphs. Again, just follow the strong recommendations in the syllabus about how to write these answers, and pay attention to the way that they're going to be graded. To get full credit for these, what you really have to do is make them thoughtful and make them careful and make them very well presented. And if you've never used Google Docs before, just note that this document automatically saves. Typically, if you try to punch out without saving, it'll prompt you to save or automatically save. You do not need to worry about losing your work here. You also don't need to have anything to do with the share button on the top corner here. You don't need to constantly share this document with me, and you are not permitted to share it with anyone else. So this process really is just a matter of going to your document, entering answers, clicking out when you're finished, and I will be able to see this at all times. I could even visit you while you're working on it. This Google Doc also has a nice feature, which is a revision history. See revision history here. So if you've ever written something and then deleted it and said, oh shoot, that was really something I should have preserved, you can actually just click on the revision history and go back to a previous incarnation of your document. And it creates lots of revision histories, so there's really a good chance that that will be there if you need it. Okay, so enough on journals. Let's just go ahead and click out of this and go back to, so let's just go back to the main web page here. And so what you'll see, the remaining links here are the schedule. The schedule is where all of the online lectures for this course are, all in this column right here. They're all specifically associated with specific chapters. So there's a chapter 1 lecture, a chapter 2 lecture, etc. And you'll see all of the advised module completion dates and the journal entry due dates over here. The journal entry due dates are on the journal itself, but the advised completion dates for the modules are on this left-hand column. The yellow really here is just an indication of a warning, because these really are just advised dates. I strongly counsel you to pay a lot of attention to them and not get behind, but there's no penalty for getting behind, and you won't be given personalized reminders that you are behind. So this is actually quite dangerous to many of you who are capable sometimes of getting busy on other things and letting stuff go. The self-paced class is designed to give you a lot of flexibility so that you can sort of pile in a lot of work in one week and have a lighter week at another time. But if you keep putting stuff off, the course will just actually become completely impossible to finish. So please really pay attention to this fact about self-paced courses. They sound good until you get halfway in and you haven't done anything, and then panicking just isn't really going to help you out. So besides that, what you also find here is this large column called supplements, and all of these are supplementary videos and also interviews, just audio interviews, and some a little bit of reading. And all of these are really the basis of the questions I ask you in your journal. So your journal questions do cover stuff we talk about in the videos and the author Richard DeWitt talks about in the textbook. But really what I'm asking you primarily about in the journals is your thoughts and analysis of the supplemental readings and supplemental videos. So your journal entries really have to show strong evidence of engaging in these. If it looks like you're answering them without being able to make specific reference to anything that's going on in the supplemental material, you won't actually get any credit for your journal entries. Also notice that this course begins up here with a couple of introductory lectures, what is philosophy and what is philosophy of science, which do not have associated readings, but which you'll see momentarily in Blackboard. You will actually be quizzed and tested on. And you'll notice as well up above here, besides being giving you a direct link to Blackboard, there's also a link to the text study questions page. So this page is a very useful page where you can test your comprehension of the reading. So if you click on any of these links, say chapter 3, what you will see is a set of study questions that really cover the core material. So if you can answer these questions well, then that's a good indication that you might be ready to go to Blackboard to start quizzing yourself on these. Now in the videos, the study questions all occur at the end of each video, and you'll want to treat those in the same way. If you can answer the study questions well at the end of the video, you're ready to go to Blackboard to start quizzing. Okay, back to the website, and you'll see that the third link, of course, is the syllabus. And all I'm going to tell you about the syllabus is read it. Read it very, very carefully. I'm not actually concerned that you won't read the syllabus, because the very first assessment you do in the Blackboard environment is a syllabus test. So the point of the syllabus test is to make sure you really just understand all the requirements in the course, but it also will give you a little bit of a heads up. If you are having difficulty with the syllabus test, that's telling you something. That's telling you that you're not paying enough attention to specific information, or that you're not really prepared for a course of this kind. So if you have any trouble passing the syllabus after 2 attempts or 3 attempts, that's a real important kind of feedback for you to take account of with respect to the likelihood that you're going to have a productive experience in this course. Okay, finally, let's go ahead and just look at the Blackboard environment. When you get there, all you're going to see is this, the syllabus test, and after you've read the syllabus carefully, you can just go ahead and click on it, and you will be able to take the test. And you can take this test as many times as you like, but you need to pass it with 90% in order to move on to the first module. Once you do pass it with a 90% or above, that first module will appear right below the syllabus test. And when you take this test, if you do have any difficulty, or even if you pass it at the 90% level, pay attention to the questions that you got incorrect, because I give feedback, so it will help you to know what you got wrong, and if you need to retake it, you should be able to get it correct the second time. Once you pass the syllabus, like I said, pass the syllabus test, then what you'll see below is the Module 1 quizzes and tests. Now, you're not going to see all of these right away. You'll see Module 1. When you're done with the Module 1 test, you'll see Module 2, etc. This is what we call adaptive release in Blackboard. So you can't, although this is a self-paced course, you can't skip around. You have to do things in sequence. Okay, so you passed your syllabus test. You've engaged all of the material associated with Module 1 very carefully. You're ready to start doing some quizzing. You click on Module 1 folder, and what you'll see is several quizzes. There's an introductory lectures quiz, which covers the introductory lectures I pointed out earlier, and then a quiz associated with each chapter. Now, anything called a quiz you can take as often as you like, and you will want to continue to take these quizzes until you're doing very well on them. The quizzes are excellent indicators of how you're going to do on the test, and generally speaking, you're going to do not as well on the test. And the reason for this is the test is timed, okay? So it is a very, very poor strategy to go to a test thinking that you will be able to look up answers in your notes or in the book. You just will not have time to do that. So don't attempt a Module 1 test. The Module 1 test, you only get that one shot at that, and the grade you get is your grade for that module. So don't take the Module 1 test until you're really fully prepared for it. The module test will contain questions, many of which look very, very similar to the questions on the quizzes. They are not, however, necessarily identical. Some of them are, but some of them are subtly different. So the module test questions you'll want to pay very, very close attention to, and don't assume that you recognize a question from a previous quiz, because there may be some very important differences that will be the difference between you getting the answer right and the answer wrong. They are not designed to be tricky, but they are designed to make sure that you are really engaging the material and thinking about these questions, not simply memorizing correct answers to previous quizzes. Now, in future modules where the material starts to get a little bit more complex, what you'll find, for example, in Module 3, is that there are quizzes associated with the textbook and quizzes associated specifically with the lecture. Okay, so basically from Module 3 on, you're going to see more quizzes, but they're more tightly focused for the specific purpose of helping you focus your own study. Okay, so that's pretty much it on the Blackboard environment. Just to return to the initial page here, this really is extremely streamlined environment. All you really have is this stuff link where all the assessment materials is, and then you have your tools link, and your tools link is really only going to be useful for looking at your My Grades, right? So over here you have your My Grades, and that's where you'll be able to review the outcomes of all of your assessments, specifically of the tests. Later on, as I indicate in the syllabus, there will be an opportunity to retake one test. And so later on in the term, there will be one more link that comes up, which is a groups link, which will allow you to register for a group that will allow you to retake one of your tests. But that's something that I'll keep you apprised of in What's Up. Okay, so that's about it as far as basic orientation. Please get in touch with me right away by email if you have anything I can help you with, any questions, any concerns about how the course is designed or your likelihood of success in it. I'll get back to you right away. And otherwise, I hope this is an interesting and an enjoyable course for you, and I hope it ends up being a productive way of spending part of your summer. All right, take care.